No, not you, me.
Oh.
Wait a minute,
Well, you have to turn around then.
I just go like this occasionally. And if we speak, does it go up? We get a speaking part?
Thank you, everybody, and welcome on to March's meeting. We have some apology from Councillor Mira Casada and everybody else present. Does anybody wish to declare any interest after viewing tonight's agenda? Thank you. Silence is noted. Confirmation of the minutes, 20th February 2024. Mover is Councillor Reid, thank you. Seconder is Councillor Nichols. Any discussion, corrections on those minutes at all? If you take them down as read, then I'll ask for a show of hands on that being passed. Passed unanimously, thank you. 5.0 is the mayor's report. Campbell and Councillor Reid, invite questions.
Thank you. Quite a number of events there that related to some extent, but in terms of where policy is heading. But the KPMG report, the Mayor's Development Day, or the general meeting, are there any highlights out of those in terms of key directions for council?
Well, it was just Sorell looking at the KPMG report, with others coming from the other councils, of course, at the CERTA network, but that was more like giving all our own thoughts on where we were with how KPMG presented the report. Fair to say, we thought it was probably light in a few areas that there's some adjustments that we've sent on, suggestions on that. Mayor's Development Day was quite interesting from the fact that several councils that have always said that their asset management and their long-term financial plans were great and up to date. For various reasons have now realised that they're not, and we're very open about talking about some of the issues that we probably faced a few years ago. Rather than that, there wasn't too much more in it. There was a doctor there talking about heart disease for overweight, and we drink alcohol. I thought he was talking to me, but I don't know that part. There's nothing else then, I shall put that motion for acceptance. All those in favour? Passed unanimously. Supplementary items number before us at the moment, 7.0 is the workshops, and what was discussed listed there. Workshop groups, work group reports, I should say. Can I move the please, Councillor Campbell and Councillor Gatehouse, thanks, and invite questions to our section managers, please.
Yes, General Manager, you're meeting with the other East Coast councils. Could you give us a synopsis of that, please?
Through the mayor, it was just prior to the announcement of the state election, so we were hoping to be able to progress a few preliminary matters for local government office, so we could basically to form up a preliminary scope for a consultant to be engaged to assist with running an assessment and viability analysis on various options that may be relevant in terms of the redesign of the East Coast, but that, I don't know how, but that ended up with me. So that's sitting at my desk, and pending the outcome of the state election, I'll turn to it again, because the funding for this review hasn't been locked in with the government, so whichever government is formed or how it's formed, we need to get clarification that there is in fact an appetite to fund a reform investigation for the East Coast specifically.
Thank you.
Thank you, through the chair. Just having a bit of trouble getting onto my agenda, but Russell, could you give me a bit of an update on BMX track? When do we think that'll be open? Because I thought it was due to be open by now, if there's been setbacks.
Yes. So through there, basically all we've got left to do is we've got signage to put up, because from a public liability perspective, we can't let the public on there without indicating under what risk they do that. And we've also got some operational risk assessments to make sure the facility is ready. The club's indicated to us that they need to know by the 15th of April, I think. But we hope to have it open before that.
Yeah, thank you. I've just noticed a few people on it already, and sometimes there's a bit of water damage up the back. And, yeah, lots of things been said.
Yeah, there has been some people on it, but we have to close. It's closed until we get those other things I talked about sorted out. And I think we've communicated that with most of the stakeholders today.
Excellent, thank you.
Through the Mayor, can I ask about the Southern Tasmanian Regional Waste Authority litter management plan workshop on the 7th of February? Is there anything out of that? Any sort of, is there going to be a promotional sort of push on littering or to reduce littering?
Through the Mayor, that's something our Health Compliance Manager, Greg Robertson, attended. So he's on that group as a rep. It's to do, I think, I need to check with Greg, but I think it's to do with the opportunity to potentially utilise some of the waste levy for educational purposes to assist with littering or anti-littering programs across the south. So I'll get some further details that from Greg, circulate to the council.
Thank you.
Thank you. General Manager, the electric vehicle charging station, are we going to consult with the couple of businesses that are going to be sort of backing on or fronting on to the possibly four parking spaces?
Yeah, through the Mayor. So I've been dealing with a proponent who has approached the immediate business owners some little while ago around the concept. I instructed them to do that before we progress any negotiations around licence agreement, so that's happened. We've also progressed the licence agreement and both parties are content with what it contains, so now it's really a case of them confirming a date with Tasmania Works as to when power will be available for them to construct the facility, but also we need to make sure that we do our own engagement with those owners, those business operators and owners.
So what was the response?
Well, the feedback that the proponent received wasn't anything but positive.
That's good.
To be honest, I was a bit surprised with it, but it's also having that facility in that location and where it's within view of that main street, that Hallam Street is a good thing. So, but yeah, but remains to be seen what happens when we undertake our own engagement.
Yeah.
It's, I think you find wherever we utilise that car park facility, it's obviously going to impact a business or businesses. So
It could be good for those businesses.
I would see it actually as a positive.
I've just got a couple more. Just following on from Councillor Reynolds and the BMX track. How much over the external funding has it cost council to?
I'll clarify, I think it's $350,000. I think that's what the old council basically committed to at the time of business case. And we got another 100,000 from Port and Rec for the fencing and the other bits and pieces that have gone on. Pretty sure that's about right.
Thank you. The firing has its infringement notices. And we've gone in or had contractors go in, I believe, to carry out these. What's the rate of being refunded for any of that work? Is mostly
I'd have to throw that up to chair with Greg how that, and Darren how that goes, but unless you know off the top of your head, Russell.
We end up chasing a few of them up council really, so that's what you're asking me, but I think the majority of them do pay, and then some of them will probably end up, you know, with a property debt at some point, and that's where it ends up.
right.
Yeah.
I thought that might be the case. I'm pleased to see that the train shed's on the move again. With some of the access, isn't it? We're looking at.
So it's basically putting in glass doors at both ends to meet the evacuation, and putting a bit of a deck out front, but there's also some landscaping and some changes to the pathway to be done as part of that grant as well.
A number of people wanting to know when they can use it. So, that'll be good. And I just wanted to thank council too for upgrading the plaque, the sign on the plaque in New Davis Place. I gave council the word in, so if there are any problems, they know where to come. But I'm very grateful anyway. It looks a lot better.
Thank you. Just through the mayor, Jess, you attended the South East engagement session. Have you got any feedback on that?
Yes, we had about 20 stakeholders attend the workshop. I think the town councillor, Reid, Kerry, Janet, attended. It was good that basically provided an overview of the workshops that they've undertaken with the young people from Vision 03 to Nubina. It was relatively high level sort of themes and things that they spoke about, but the report will be more detailed, and then they ran through the activities that they've done with the young people themselves, with the stakeholders that were there to look at some of the challenges and opportunities for young people. Thank you.
Something else, I'll put the reports for acceptance. All those in favour? Thank you, cast unanimously. 1.0 is petitions still being actioned and the various responses there. 12.0, no petitions before us at the moment. Land use planning, the Mayor advised in accordance with the provisions of Part 2 Regulation 25 of the Local Government Meeting Procedures Regulation 2015, the intention of the Council to act as a planning authority pursuant to the Land Use Planning Approvals Act 1993 will be noted. In accordance with Regulation 25, the Council will act as a planning authority in respect to those matters appearing under item 12 on this agenda, including supplementary items. One is the Sorell Planning Authority minutes from the 6th and the 27th of February. In circulated and taken as being read, so can we have a mover, please? Councillor Reid, Councillor Gadio, thank you. Any other comments on those minutes? No, I shall put them for acceptance. All those in favour? Passed unanimously. 14.1 is the audio visual recording and live stream of council meetings policy. Move it, please. Councillor Trenius, Councillor Campbell, thank you. And open the floor for discussion.
Through the mayor, I'd just like to thank the council members for investigating any concerns that we had around this matter of allaying any fears. So thank you for giving us the extra time to discuss this further.
Other comments, fairly heavily discussed, I shall put the motion. All those in favour? Passed unanimously. 16.1, community grants program. Move it, please. Campbell, thank you. And any discussion on this at all? I shall put the motion to acceptance of the grant. All those in favour? Thank you, passed unanimously. 17.1 is the executive summary, financial report, February 2024. Councillor Campbell, Councillor Reid. Not sure the lumpy's there at the moment, but if you take it as the materials and everything, it's probably pretty close to the line. Councillor Reid.
I think I've said this before, but I just thank the staff for the work that goes into those graphs, which make the helicopter view of the whole thing much easier. So, particularly comparing budget and actual or year. So, thank you.
Page 15 on that.
73.
No other comments on the budget at all? Thank you. I'll put the motion for acceptance. All those in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. 17.2 is the 2023-24 capital budget adjustments. Move things. Mr. Carroll and Councillor Nichols, thank you. A lot of discussion needed on this around here. No comments from the floor, so I'll put the motion. All those in favour of acceptance? Passed unanimously. Thank you. And we move on to questions from the public.
Can I just ask one? I read it and I can't remember where I read. In regard to rubbish collection, when it's changing, normal collection's going to every 2 weeks, is that correct? Does it only be the normal, the collection that we have every week now is going to 2 weeks, is that correct?
Not immediately, I'll just ask a comment from Russell.
So, come the 1st of July, we should have a green bin, and then at some point later, we'll introduce a food and organics collection service. At that point there, we're hoping to divert that food and organics away from the normal waste, and hoping to be able to reduce the number of general waste collections we do, as you say, from once a week to once a fortnight. So there's a whole process of education there, and there's quite a reasonable time frame associated with that. So there's nothing quick about any of that.
Right. Can I ask a question then? For people that have, say, lots of kids, 6 kids, and they're all on disposable nappies, they need a bigger bin. So does that mean they're still going to every 2 weeks, and do they have to pay for an increased bin, or what happens there?
They'll have the option if they want to purchase, well, to pay the rates associated with the increased bin, if that's what they want to do, yeah.
Despite the fact that you're cutting our rubbish collection, we've got to pay for a big bin.
Well, for those that have got more than normal rubbish, we cater for an average terms of rubbish in terms of the collection services. So if you're going to use it more and you want more, then yes, you're going to have to do that. But the other idea would be that most of the waste would be diverted. So you basically still should be able to use the same bin as you've got originally. That's the whole idea of the waste recovery process.
Can I ask another question too? I've got 2 dogs, and I dispose of their packages in one of the bins. So would that go into the organics bin? Is that what happens?
Yeah.
And that's every fortnight? That will be every fortnight?
No, every week for the
organic.
food organics.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's a different mix of services as we've discussed, but there'll be some education about what you can put into each one. There'll be a whole process rolled out, and the committee will know well in advance before we ever get there in terms of what's required, okay?
All right, thank you.
Right, yeah. Right, I'm making a sensible question here tonight. Given that we all are aware of climate change, I googled very quickly, there are 9 towns on the mainland who are looking at solar roof things, whatever you call them, panels, that's the word I want to use. As I get older, I can't always find the words. So is there something that the Sorell Council could do for the surrounding area and sort of set up solar farms? And I understand from a good friend on the road in a pink shirt, but if the Poms can run sort of solar farms, so can the Tasmanians, and can we sort of show the mainland that we're better than they are? Make sense?
I'll divert that to the general manager because we have been approached over the years by developers looking to run solar farms.
Why haven't you done it?
There's very good reason. That's why I'm diverting to the general manager because it can be planning, it can be visual, it can be, we don't have a massive amount of land mass, but they're building over the top of grazing land. But I shall refer to his discussions that the general manager had.
Yeah, through the mayor, so we try to effectively broker a deal between a local landowner and solar farm proponent, probably 3 to 4 years ago. Unfortunately, the landowner wasn't interested, and that was a large scale solar farm off Bricktop Road. Other than that, as a council, we don't have much land mass ourselves, as the mayor has said. We do investigate options around principally federal funding programs for solar investment or more environmentally efficient ways of generating power. And we've got one at the moment we're contemplating whether it's worth putting in a grant application for, which would benefit some of our facilities. So those sorts of opportunities aren't simple, and we need to be very careful of the cost benefit approach as to if it's worth us investing or participating in those programs or not. But in terms of a large scale solar facility, we tried our best with a parcel we thought was ideal for it, and it needs to have certain characteristics to be suitable. And that site was principally suited because it was we're very close proximity to the high voltage transmission line, if they need to be. But the owner, despite having interest to develop the land or sell the land, was unwilling to sign that proponent up.
So we're not doing anything about it?
Well,
At the moment.
we don't have the land area ourselves, and we look at each opportunity we can through the federal government programs around their own activities, but we've got solar on this building and on the Memorial Hall at RSL.
What about the storage centre?
Yeah, stadium to solar, yep, you're right.
Okay.
We do what we can when we can, but the solar farms are a different thing with commercial investment that has a lot of different boxes to tick.
That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Right.
Yeah, just a couple. Not that I'm party to the information on EV charging points, but across the state there seems to be quite a few in supermarket car parks where people spend a couple of hours doing their shopping. Whether that's applicable in Sorell, you've got 2 car parks.
Again, we've been trying to break a deal principally between 2 electric vehicle charging operators. One has put in a site on our land, Dunalley, in May Street near the park. And the other, that same proponent and another one have approached both supermarket site owners, but neither have an interest in doing it. With either a proponent.
They get their money too easy then.
4 years worth, but as I explained to Councillor Serena, when she questioned before, we are looking to utilise some spaces in the New Davis car park at the Pelham Street in, a number of four charging bays in there. So that's subject to final agreements, that will happen. But surprisingly, neither, particularly one or the other.
That's a surprise because of the captive audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing, of course, is you can always build it next to the fire station because they can be quite handy too. They burn really well.
Thank you.
Another question, I was approached by a member of the community as to who would do approach on council if they wanted to organise a very large car show in Sorell next November. We're not talking about next week. And I said, well, I wouldn't have a clue, they kept changing their staff.
Through there, I'm still here, so they can contact me in the first instance. I
Haven't got your phone number?
I had another inquiry from another group a few months ago around running a car show in the main street in sometime in the future.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's one of the same, it may not be.
I don't think so, no.
But no, get them to contact me in the first instance, that's fine.
Okay, we'll do. Third one. The ageing demographic of Sorell, and I'm very well experienced in this. Down my way, there's, 1, 2, 3, 4, five penetrations to the highway, all in the same spot. Most of them are commercial, most of them are agricultural. The speed limit is about 40 yards towards Sorell, so the driveways are in this 100k zone. How'd you like to put a sign down on the bridge?
You only move the speed limit another 100 metres, 200 metres down the road.
Not 200, it's about 5, it's probably a kilometre down to the bridge. But don't put a speed limit lights, speed limit sign there, put one up, you just calm your head. Because they'll definitely slow down for that.
Like you're thinking there, Mike.
It works.
We discussed that recently, why was that? I can't remember the reason why, but it was raised about, just as you're coming up to those driveways, that you've got an acceleration of speed, not a decrease.
Well, they run the hill, and then they run the mill hill downwards to the bridge, and then they run up the other way through the cutting. Finally got cleaned up there coming into this meeting. No one on the highway when I pulled out, but it was 3 feet behind me when I straightened up.
Yeah, I'm happy.
He wasn't doing 100k.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk to, but it's obviously going to get past Department of State Road, but I'm happy to take it up and see what they've got to say.
I'll be very happy to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Discussed recently, so.
Well, you're going to get a lot of development down that way, the more you get in front of it.
Fair question, thank you. And that's it. Thank you very much. We just have to move into closing. Appreciate you coming along and asking questions. Hope to see you again next month.
Well, I forgot the last one, so one of the benefits of age.
Thank you, guys.
Well done.